Hey folks, and welcome back to Glenn and Adrian's Rock Talk. That's Adrian.
And that's Glenn.
And today we are going to take a look at another Sina drums cover. This one is going to be a Steely Dan song, and I don't think we've ever done a Steely Dan song on the channel, but we are today. It's going to be Asia, the title track of their 1977 album. I believe it was their sixth album, if memory serves. I think they were recording at a time where albums were coming out every single year like clockwork for most artists. They started with Can't Buy a Thrill in 72, and I think it was Countdown to Ecstasy 73. Pretzel Logic with Ricky Don't Lose That Number was on 1974, and then Katie Lied 1975. Royal Scam 1976. These are all great albums, but Asia 77 was probably the greatest in a lot of ways. I mean, it all depends on your point of view. This was at a point where Steely Dan was making records that were so clean they almost didn't sound human. I mean, they would do hundreds of takes, try different players on each track, each part. You know, different lead guitarists would come in for the same song and try laying something down. You know, they go through like 5 or 6 guys and finally pick one, you know, based on what they recorded. I mean, I don't know how they did it, because this was at a time when it wasn't so easy to do that. And, you know, you had actual analog tape that could wear down as you keep doing takes. And they were so meticulous about the sound that would be a big deal. So I just don't know what kind of headaches they had, but they came out with a pretty good record in the end. So there's a story behind this record, at least when they recorded it. Steve Gadd, excellent drummer, you know, monumental. He was late for the gig, you know. That is to say, the recording session was set up. Everybody's hanging around going, "Where's Steve? What's going on?" And, you know, steam's coming out of everybody's ears. Finally, he flies into the studio. Like, oh, you know, I don't know how late he was, but pretty late. He's like, I'm sorry. And they're just looking at him like, you better get this. And so first take, he got this song, which is 8 minutes long, and with some really crazy stuff going on towards the end of the song. He just nailed it. First take. And then left. So he wasn't even in the studio for like more than 20 minutes or something. But he knocked out this song, and it's a classic. So Sina, I'm trying to get the name right. There's a pronunciation somewhere between S and Z, I'm told. So Sina, she is amazing. We've seen her play a couple of Led Zeppelin tracks off Zeppelin 4, and we also saw her play The Who's Won't Get Fooled Again, which came actually from many years ago. This is from 5 months ago, so not that long ago, fairly recent. But she is so good that I have every confidence that this is going to be a cool thing to watch. So, and people have requested it. So, Adrian, any thoughts ahead on Sina, on Steely Dan, on any of this stuff?
Sina, I mean, she's a phenomenal drummer. I mean, she's able to get the drums exactly the way they're played on the record.
Mm-hmm. And this one is going to be a particular challenge.
Oh, yeah. This is, I know Steely Dan is it's not like your simple rock and roll. You know, it's
not in the least.
jazzy, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I'm imagining this is going to be crazy. All right. And we'll explain just how crazy later, you know, if we're able to put it into words. Yeah, let's just check it out. Let's not build things up too much. Let's check it out, and we'll discuss afterwards. Sound good?
All righty.
All right, here we go.
On the hill, people never stand, they just don't care. Chinese music under the banyan hill. They've got time to burn. There's no return. Double helix in the sky tonight. Blow out the hardware.
Thank you.
Kind of a funny ending there. I liked that. I liked that little. I was wondering what she was going to do for the fade out there. She just kind of played it out and turned it into a Patreon announcement. Good work. One interesting thing there. Did you see where she stopped in the middle and she hit the two sticks together? Well, it so happens, I don't think that was intentional. I think that was a mistake that Steve Gadd made, that they all decided it was okay to leave it because the rest of the take was so good. Even though this was Steely Dan, serious perfectionism like you never see anymore in the studios. If you ever did before that, I don't even know. In fact, here, let me see if I can pull it up just briefly here so I can show you. Yeah.
I remember hearing it now that you play it back, but I thought, I thought that was just part of the song. I took it.
No, I believe that was an unintentional mistake that they decided they could live with, which for Steely Dan, that's saying something. So if anybody knows differently or thinks they know differently about that, let me know. But I believe that's the story that I've heard about that stick click. I mean, the part itself is absolutely amazing. I mean, she basically just did it, so you don't even have to listen to the album. That's fun. That's what Steve Gadd played. Wow, what a job. And it probably, I think for most people watching that, they probably don't fully understand just how ridiculously difficult and well done that was, but it was. That was incredible. This dropped on December 13th of last year. I noticed she said December 27, so I don't know what the next album was that she was talking about. We do know, of course, that she did cover the entire Led Zeppelin 4 album, and we've looked at a couple of tracks off that. I'll leave at least one in the cards for you guys if you want to check it out. Folks, why don't you let us know? We've gotten some really good suggestions for Sina's channel, but if you have something in particular that you think we really should take a look at, oh man, she just did American Woman. Might want to check that out. Yeah, in the near future. That's one I'd actually... But anyway, yeah, leave suggestions below. Also, let us know what you thought about this, especially if you're a Steely Dan fan or a Steve Gadd fan. If you have anything to add, please add it below, because always interested in other people's thoughts. I'm blown away by what she just did there. I just don't really have much else to say other than, wow, well done. You put in the work and look what happens. Well done. Fantastic. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. And if you enjoyed our presentation, please subscribe. All right. Thanks so much for joining us on this, and we will catch you on the next one. All right. Take care, folks.
See you later.